Good morning. Judd here.
Keaton here.
The Graham guys. Yeah. Coming on this morning, wanted to discuss how do we model for our children.
Yeah, I mean, it speaks volumes for how we are in our life. The saying that we grew up with, the saying that Judd loves to use and we love to use is how you do anything is how you do everything.
And really, you know, it's an oft used saying, but it's so apropos here, especially when it comes to how you model for your children.
Yeah.
You're just like when I first had Keaton, when Keaton's mom and I first had him, you know, one of the things that I did was I actually sat back when he was about a month or two old, and I took a look at what my values were. You know, what values am I going to impart to, you know, my son? Because one of the things that where I came from was working on drilling rigs for 15 years, and I had the mouth that was like 5 times worse than a trucker, and that was one of my values. You know, my word, you know, what I speak, you know, is going to be, you know, like, you know, indicative of who I am as a human being. So for me, I totally, completely, right off the bat, just cut swearing right out of my life. As a matter of fact, we just did a post on that.
Yeah. And again, it garnered a whole bunch of response, actually, because, I mean, a lot of parents, it seems to be a real hot button topic with a lot of parents. Now, I don't have kids, but I have friends with kids, and it's just interesting seeing the massive difference between the parents that go, well, they'll hear it anyways, I'm not even gonna censor myself, and then the parents that take care not to use those words.
Yeah, like they're gonna hear it. They're gonna hear it eventually, but they don't need to be hearing the F-bombs and the C word and the, you know.
Yeah, and every second or third word in a sentence is the F-bomb or something like that, right? I mean, kids don't need to hear that. Yeah, when they get older and they're teenagers, they're going to have their own experiences. They're going to be out with their friends and cursing up a storm. But as soon as they get back to the house or into their friend's house or something like that, with somebody of authority or somebody that they respect, that stops. That ends.
Because of the modeling that they got.
Exactly.
You know, because I do know of kids that they swear in front of their grandparents. They swear in front of their mothers. They swear in front of their... You know, and I've actually commented when the boys were young with, you know, certain friends of mine going, yo, dude, like, what the... You're swearing like that in front... Oh, they're going to hear it anyways. It's like, yeah, but they don't need to hear it from you. Oh, Judd, you don't... Just relax. You're worried too much. And then their kids ended up growing up to be 12 and 13 and 14, like somebody that I know that's really close and related to me, and the kids just, you know, they drop the F-bomb, you know, and nothing is said. It's like, what kind of an example are you setting?
Well, and if your self-discipline as a parent is lacking in the regard of your languaging in regards to your kids, then I wonder, it makes you think of what else that you're really lax about for your I lost the word.
It goes back to your saying, you know, how you do anything is how you do everything. And I think that's where you were going down.
Yeah.
You know, and so, you know, what kind of message are you sending to your kids? You know, the next piece is, you know, is about your actions. You know, it's like, I was always really physically fit because of all the years I worked on drilling rigs. You know, I was just like ridiculously blued steel a cat couldn't scratch, like just because of you know, because the boys used to come and like poking my 6-pack and going doop 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 doop, you know. And then gradually, as I started a company and I, you know, didn't place as much emphasis on my physical fitness, I started, you know, kind of losing that real edge of, and which I'm just regaining back now. But, you know, Keaton came up with this morning, which was,
it was actually really interesting, because before you make that point, it was, you know, every Sunday we went swimming. On Saturdays, after we clean the house, generally in the afternoon, we'd go out for a big bike ride, or we'd, you know, walk down to get ice cream, or, you know, something. It was something physical, because Judd loved to rock climb. He loved to play soccer. He loved to go out and do things, right? He wasn't one of these parents where it's kind of like, I'm busy, go play outside. Because we did. But then he'd come out and he'd rip around with us, and we'd go for an adventure, and all right, I'll race you to the end of the block, you know, that kind of stuff. That most dads do. But I mean, it wasn't lackadaisical. It was definitely engaging and active. You were very active for us physically in our lives, not just, you know, once in a while or only on the weekends. I mean, a Tuesday afternoon, that's a cool color. Anyways, he was very active in our lives. So this comes to the next question: is are you an example of physical fitness for your kids? I mean, because they model your behaviors. They model I don't have kids, so I can't say our behaviors, but as parents, they're going to look to you for every single little thing that they do, that they learn. And if you're not being the example of physical fitness,
Yeah, this goes to your languaging, this goes to what you speak, this goes to your activity level. If you sit on the, it's like how many times at when we're out grocery shopping or at Costco or wherever we're at, and we'll see a really heavy mom, and then we'll see a really heavy son or a really heavy child, and you see the people that are really slim and fit and walking around. Well, their kids are slim and fit because they're
getting engaged, they're getting active with them.
And this isn't a criticism or a critique on, it's like...
No, God, no. I was a fat kid for years, but that was after I was given kind of the go-ahead to go get a job, have your own experiences and everything, right? That was my choices.
But that's as you got older. You
Yeah.
were like in your late teens,
Yeah,
right?
but as a kid, as a under 10 or under 12, we were active. We were grooving. I don't know where that came from. But we were, we were out doing stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like kids do.
Yeah, yeah. And then the final point is your kids model your behavior. Because that was one of the things that I used to look at, and with your mom when we discussed, because, like Keaton's youngest brother was just, for lack of a better term, he was not the most cleanest, didn't help around the house, didn't take the garbage out. But yet we would get reports from other parents going, "Oh my God, your youngest, like he helps out, he chips in, it's like, oh, do you want me to take the garbage out, or do you?" And we're going, "Who the hell is it?" What,
Yeah. So he was modeling the behavior that was shown to him
at home.
at home.
And then out of that, it's like, and if your kids, if you notice that they're not modeling that behavior, or you're not getting reports back, it's like, having a conversation.
Yeah.
Like how can we have this, turn it around?
Yeah.
Right? Because kids are smart. Kids are little, like one of the
Sponges.
Yeah, like seriously sponges. One of the things that I used to do is I had adopted this attitude of dropping to a knee, so that I was on the same level as Keaton or Raven, when I would talk to them. So that I wasn't like my dad, who was overlording and looking down on me and giving me this lecture of, don't do as I do as I say, because that was his attitude, right?
Yeah.
And, at least that was my experience and my older brother's experience. And so I took a knee. I would take a knee whenever Keaton and Raven wanted to talk to me, or I wanted to talk to them about something. So that just, like, yo, you, me, yeah, right now, you. we're having this conversation.
Yeah.
But, it's like, all the humor aside, it was having a conversation where they got that it's like, wow, he's talking to me on my level, on just kind of being like, dad to son, I wasn't being his buddy, I wasn't being their buddies, I wasn't wanting to be their friend. It was just like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Talk to me. Right?
And that made it really relatable. It made it really, for lack of a better term, real, right? Like it wasn't like, he's my parent, oh my God, I have to look up to him. It was, like you said, he was on the same level where he wasn't. Yeah, actually, you described it pretty great. Actually, lording over us, he was engaged and involved and right there, like eye level.
Well, and the thing that I see is that so many parents, helicopter moms, for instance, they want to be the child's friend. They want to be able to take and be there and helicopter and save their child. Children don't need to be saved. Children need to go. And I mean this.
They bounce real well.
I mean this. I used to have a saying. It's like, I'm working, and unless you're bleeding profusely or you've got a bone sticking through your skin, stay the hell out of my office on a Saturday morning. I've got work to do, for my business, right? But they always knew that they could, and they'd come running in and go, dad, or whatever was going on. But it's like allowing your kids to be kids, and only stepping in when they actually need it, because then they respect you a lot more, because it's like, guess what you've taught them?
Boundaries.
Well, boundaries, but you've also taught them that you trust them, that they can work it out on their own, and that's huge. That's what I imparted to you and your brother, was just like, so and did I do it right every time? Hell yeah. No. No, I didn't. Did I mess up often? Yeah, I did, but I would always be willing to come down and drop to a knee and go, you know what, hey, how many times did well, not how many times, but it's like the odd time where I dropped. 14. I dropped down and I just go, hey, listen, I screwed up. I'm sorry. you know, and you know, I make mistakes too, and that's hugely important, you know. So, you know, how you kind of bringing this full circle back to where we started is, how do you model for your children? And I know Keaton doesn't have children, but you know, he plans to and wants to have children one day, and you know, and so, yeah, how do you model for your children? You know, are you effective at it? You know, do they listen to you? Do you have times where it's like they come like you guys used to and just flop down on the old blue couch when
Oh, yeah.
you know, downstairs,
Yeah.
right? And just kind of lay on me and just look up at me and just like, hey, how you doing, Dad? I'm okay. How are you doing? I want to punch this guy's lights out at school or
I
whatever.
remember that.
You know, so yeah, so we'd have a conversation about it, and I go,
Yeah.
well, why do you want to punch this guy's lights out or girl's lights out, or, you know, just like, and just, you know, help them work through, you know, and help them come up with their own answers.
Yeah.
That's, I believe, what a good parent, someone who models well, does. Yeah.
Cool. Well, great talking to you guys today.
Beautiful Friday. Yeah. Everybody enjoy their day and have a wonderful, wonderful
Yeah.
weekend.
Have a great day, guys.
Okay.
We love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.